ain't no game. This that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. I'm on the show spreading fake news. We just started the podcast. West, Joey, Sam, Sean, Dalton. And you know that boy Higgy. He said he wants small fry. Tell him they better make him big. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. Jordan, here he goes. This place is gone.
If we set it and set it in stone, sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Straight steal of home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know when things are
The emotional journey to the championship.
What is up, everybody? Welcome in on this fine Sunday afternoon. We're coming to you live from the Shoot 360 studios. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wyman. Here are my co-hosts for the evening. First off, we call him the Deputy of Dryness, the Maharaja of Monogamy, only in his pocket, the Captain of Crotch Rot, the Sultan of Slobber, the General of the General of Glazing. It's our guy, Sean Barber.
How's it going?
Just takes it
Better
with
for us than you.
Yeah. Joey, I can't see you in the shot anymore. I don't know if Sean has done something to the camera, but you're out of shot. Okay, now you're in shot. Also, he is the big little brother, Joe Wallman.
That was me.
Yes! I don't have to.
Yes.
I don't know why that still happens. That still happens, and I'm not sure why.
Can you turn my mic up there?
Don't forget the Mossy Oak chat line is open if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or however. Send us your questions on social media. Check out the graphic to see how you can follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on social media. Hit the thumbs up button while you're here on YouTube. Make sure you're watching on YouTube if you can. It'll help us out more. And shout out to our amazing sponsors. We've got Fitness Market, Four-Pex, the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House, and our summer sponsor, Zach Beckman from Beckman's Fine Blades. I've never been a stripe yard dude before, but Zach's been striping the yard, and it's looking pretty nice. Now, listen, let's get to our guests. So forget about Sean. Most people do. First off, and I'm going to put y'all both on camera at the same time. So I'm going to introduce both of you all. First off, he was the star of Barbecue Brawl and resident Louisville legend and owner of one of my favorite place to eat, Four Pegs. He's filling bellies, feeding souls. He is a pit master extraordinaire and a guy I'm lucky to call a friend. He is the proprietary, the entrepreneur-tary, the visionary. He's Chris freaking Williams. What's up, Chris?
How's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming in. But wait, there's more. To his wait a minute. To his right, I put the wrong direction. Louisville's most handsome radio producer.
What?
He's also the hardest working and MVP most valuable producer. And most importantly, he's the BDVITV, the most valuable Valvano in the Ville, at the Ville.
What?
He is the brother,
What?
the dude,
Yeah.
the man,
What?
the homie,
Yeah.
the paisan,
What?
the one and only Nicky freaking V. Nick Valvano.
How you guys doing? Oh, it's beautiful. Thanks, man. I'm glad that check I gave you.
Hey, it only bounced a little.
What? It didn't cover what just happened a few minutes ago.
No,
Yeah, sorry. Hopefully that doesn't waft in here.
that is
Apologize.
that is. Gosh.
I can't help it.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna wrap up the College World Series and Louisville's involvement in it. Talk a little Vince Morrow. I don't know. Every time I say Vince Morrow, I feel like it should be Vance. Like I'm saying it wrong, but then I realize I'm not. We're going to talk a little bit about Louisville's college basketball non-conference schedule. As since the last time we were on 2 weeks ago, we've had a couple of announcements, and we could talk about that. But at the end, we're going to talk about five of our true loves. Sean's only true love, and that's professional wrestling. So we'll try to get through.
I didn't know where we were going with that.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's a doll available that we can purchase for Sean that would make him happy. It is what it is. Let's go first to the College World Series. Louisville bows out against Coastal Carolina. It was a hard-fought matchup. Louisville battled all week, but as we were talking about before the show, just ran out of steam. There's the people that have been, why did we say Forbes? Wow, why did we pitch Patrick Forbes? Well, then if we had of and won that game, it would have been an exact, opposite result. We would have got ran out the gym in the if necessary game. Damn it, if you've watched, so that's how I could tell some of these people that are following Louisville baseball are only Louisville baseball come lately fans. A lot of us have been following it for a long, long time, and we love it. Dan McDonald always pitches for the if necessary spot. He has the faith in his team that they can get him there. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they do let him down. I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking back to all the super regionals. I believe this is the first. I'm sorry, College World Series. I believe this is the first time in the College World Series that we alternated loss win. No, we didn't. Never mind. We went loss. Sorry, the first time that we went loss win. We won 2 games, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Arizona, Oregon State.
Yeah.
There was only 1 or 2.
That's why you're the ultimate producer. You suck as a producer.
He's pointing at you.
Yeah.
Yes, you. Yeah, you. Nikki drops the nuggets and helps out. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So we were
Sometimes literally
he
dropping
I see what he
nuggets.
did-
Yeah.
I see what he did there.
Yeah.
I didn't do that on purpose. I swear.
Those weren't no nuggets. Trust me.
I swear. I know, triple flusher. I appreciate that. I wasn't even going to bring that up, Joey. It's your fault. You brought it up.
Well, he's the one closest to the doors.
That's
Oh yeah, no, I was
He's
just,
got to deal with the fallout. Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I can't smell anything anyway.
Ain't that some? Literally.
Thanks, Dairy Queen.
But we we talked in our group chat prior to the College World Series, and a lot of people were like, "Well, we just hope to do a little something." And I pointed out, then we lost the game to Oregon State, and everybody was like, "Oh man, we do this all the time. We make it to Omaha and fail." Well, if you look at statistically, we've improved every time we've went to Omaha. I think this year we ended up tying what we had done, but we still
one more win and we'd have had the most wins.
Right.
But we still did it like the first time it was win loss. This time it was. I think this is the first time we've won back-to-back games. Sean, you can look that up. Make yourself useful. I'm not really sure, but it is what it is. Thank you, Eddie King. Thank you, Zion. Thank you, Monroe. Kamau. Listen, if anybody deserves the most, if you could give out a most improved player trophy during a postseason, you'd have to give it to Neighbors. That dude went from the scapegoat, the reason why we were losing games, to the reason why we were winning games. I believe he was perfect from the plate his last 2 games, made some clutch hits, scored some clutch runs. Eddie and Zion, again, if you followed Louisville baseball for a while, and I know for some people they just started when Matt got here and we went to the College World Series. That's fine. Sean, I'm going to ask you this because I know you have followed it for a long time, and I'm not really sure if Nick, Chris, or Joey has. Who does Zion and Eddie remind you of? We had a 1-2 punch a couple years back, and you could even argue, throw Matt Klein in there and say a and we'll explain what a threesome means in a different way to you later. Because you could throw in as far as implication wise, you could throw in a third guy, but I'm just talking strictly about Eddie and Zion.
Eddie reminds me a lot of, I think, Corey Ray.
Okay, that's number one. And I'm talking so teammates. I'm talking about teammates. So who, if Eddie was the Corey, then who's Zion?
I'm trying to think back.
Devin Harrison. I'm not letting you do this.
You're gonna go Devin Harrison.
I'm not
interesting.
Yeah, because after Corey left, Devin was a playmaker. He was a difference maker on the field.
Will Smith would be the
catcher.
Yeah. That'd be a good one
best
too.
catcher in the major leagues right now.
That team though, man. When we were talking to Corey about a month ago here on the show, just remembering that on that team you had Will Smith, you had what was his name? Brendan McKay. You had what was the dude that went to the Rangers?
Nick Solak.
Solak. I mean, it was low. And the pitch, I don't even want to start that because the pitchers was like Funkhauser, Funkhauser and Harrington, and then the dude that went to the Yankees. You know, the one that was always. He still comes to the games.
Wasn't one of the birdies, was it?
No, but the birdies were on the team. The birdies were there. You know who I'm talking to? Josh Rogers.
Yeah.
Just packed, man. We were packed. Got a majority of the roster coming back next year.
I was
Big
gonna say
chance.
right afterwards.
Yeah, I think Eddie's the only Eddie and Kamayu. And I don't know, pitching wise, there may be some movement there, but as far as the everyday roster, no, Monroe. I think Monroe's got one more year.
Okay.
I can't swear to that, but I do believe that.
Forbes is gone.
No, Forbes is a junior,
He's
right?
gone.
Okay, well, yeah, well, that probably is why he didn't.
He's
Okay,
gone.
fair enough. But again, big chance to go back to Omaha next year. We've got to develop our pitchers, the bullpen. Thank you so much to all of you all. We will have Eddie and Zion here on the show here in a couple of weeks. Fingers crossed that they get the okay. Those. Here's what I love about doing what we do, because you do get to connect with people like Lamar Jackson, Jair Alexander, Eddie King. Like you get to know them a little bit to a point to where they start off, hey, can you retweet this for me? Can you tell people to follow me? And it gets to a point to where they message you more than you message. Like right after the first game of the College World Series that we won, I look at my DMs, and y'all remember this, right?
I do.
I was like, I just got a DM from Eddie King. The game just ended 20 minutes ago. And the DM read something simple like, 1 down. And we're going to get this. Now, we didn't get this. It is what it is. But that's one of the cool things. Like, Nick, you can attest to this, too. Me and Nick, we started, well, I have for a long time. Nick does it from time to time. Interviewing wrestling celebrities. We did a really good one was it last year?
Yeah, with Cody.
Yeah.
Last June.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. Captain Cody, and
Still waiting on a phone call from his security. So
I think he might have been blowing smoke.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I was all ready.
You were, and but Cody, man, that was just, and it wasn't like, I don't know how you felt, but for me, it was just like we were talking to one of our boys.
Yeah, no, he was super affable, and the fact we were doing that at 7 a.m, he comes in dressed to the nines with the title, was interacting with some fans outside the studio.
No, not only that, he asked us on the way out, y'all want to take some pictures? And we're like, no, yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, we do.
My mom decides, as she used to all the time, mom and dad both, would only call me during the week during our shows.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know when the shows were. Thanks for the support. But we're only calls. So she's calling, and I look at my phone, and of course it says mom on the phone. And I sent her to voicemail, put it back in my pocket. Cody's like, looks at me weird. I was like, oh, it's just a phone call. Well, she calls right back, and at this point I know I'm screwed. I'm like, I'm going to have to answer this or nothing. So I turned it over, and he's like, oh, that's mom. You have to answer that. And I'm like, crap. I was like, hello, mom. Oh, nothing, just interviewing Cody Rhodes. And Cody's like, hey, mom. Yeah, no, she was like, no, you're not. And Cody's like, yeah, hi, mom.
It's Cody Rhodes.
It's Cody Rhodes. We're just, the older lady. Oh, okay. Well, I love you. Okay, mom. But just being able to do that's some of the perks that we get, and being able to do that. It's really, really awesome. Let's roll smoothly right here into segment 2 this week, guys. And I know we're going to talk wrestling in a little bit, but the big dog has come back to the Ville.
Big dog got to eat. Who?
Big dog got to eat. And how do we? First off, we'll go to the guests first. Sean, you'll be last, like always. Thoughts?
So is
Chris.
life.
On Morrow?
Yeah.
I mean, what a get, I mean, him coming here is it's huge for us. He's going to bring in a lot of talent in. A lot of people know him. And, we got one on Kentucky, and that's always good.
That is always good. Nick, what about you?
First off, is Vince Marrow one of those athletes or sports personalities you have to use his full name? You know what I mean? I haven't heard people it's either Big Dog or Vince Marrow. It's not.
Yeah, I'm going
Marrow,
Big Dog
it's not
because I don't know if
Vince.
it's Morrow or Marrow, and I don't want to.
That's playing it safe.
Yeah, Big Dog.
Yeah, that's safe.
Big Dog got to eat.
He does.
Yeah, I think you did. I thought you were talking more like Vincent Kennedy McMahon, like using the full government name. But
Well, there's certain athletes and stuff that they just get referred to as their full name. It's not
That's
Marrow, Morrow. It's not Vince.
Yeah.
It's either the nickname Big Dog or Vince Marrow.
like we're watching. So full disclosures in the background, we've got Clemson, Louisville ACC tournament game on top. On the Wamatron 5000 here on the table, we've got Clemson Louisville football from last year on. And so, like, we didn't call Chucky Hepburn. We just called him Chucky.
Yeah, right.
Or Rain.
Yeah, some people go by like just their
man,
first name, and then like some people are like that's like their full name. Like, well, no, Javon Hadley could be Javon. Like, I'm trying to think of like an example of. Like,
I know what you're saying, but like
Yeah.
now that you said it, I can't think of one.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, like I got a hockey.
I mean, I know, like, you know, you got people like The Rock or whatever that just go by, you know, like their stage name or whatever.
Okay, so here's a horrible one. We never called him Payne. We called him Kenny Payne.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that's a good
KP.
example. Yeah, he was KP or he was Kenny
Yeah.
Payne. It was never, it was hardly ever Kenny or Coach Payne. Like it
Yeah.
was something like there's a hockey one that no one's gonna like get, and I'm completely tanking.
Rick Pitino.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, most of the time you didn't, like, maybe us, but like the media and everything, they didn't go Coach P or
sometimes like
Pitino.
I'd hear
It was
Rick.
mostly
Rick.
Rick or Rick Pitino.
Yeah, but like, but you're right.
Yeah,
No, Rick Pitino's a good one. Like that was like.
So who's the hockey one that you don't think of?
Pecorine? He was the goalie for the Nashville Predators. But
Who?
like Pecorine. Yeah,
Well, that's the people said that just because they wanted to say Pecorine.
it's a fun one to roll off the tongue. But no, I'm really excited. I mean, if you heard the press conference, Vince effusive in praise for Jeff Brom. Jeff the same way for him. Like
Got a little dig in at him too. Like, hey, I didn't have much to work with over there. Now I got
Right.
something to sell over here.
I know that was good. And then there was a little Satterfield slight too. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, it was pretty easy recruiting against you guys with the last guy. But
Oh my God,
Jeff was a little tough. Like I was.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear I haven't got to hear the press conference yet, but I will be tuning into that, checking that out. But Nick, do you normally get to talk this much on the other shows?
No, they hide the microphone.
Okay, well, we're not going to do that to you because you are a bona fide star. He reminds
me. Not, but thank you.
You are. So, like you and my brother, if y'all got into wrestling, y'all could be the Enzo and Cass of Louisville.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? That was good. That was
Hey,
good. That was really good. He nailed it,
How you
man.
doing?
Yeah.
Sean, you've never
What do we
nailed
got
anything
over
in your life.
here?
Uh,
Upper haters.
let's go to the chat line. Oh, Uncle Larry says, "What's up, Nikki V?"
Hey, what's up, Uncle Larry?
Zach says, "Clifford the big red dog." Okay.
Mickey Mouse.
Brent says, "Dang, you're as bad as Diener is on Nick." No, I love Nick. Nick knows he's my. Listen, if I didn't love him, I wouldn't let him. I wouldn't let him anywhere near me during social events. And like he's got a lifetime invitation to my suite when we're at wrestling or any concerts I go to. He knows.
Well, after what I did to the bathroom, that
I was gonna say
I might be
thinking
on
about it.
probation. Yeah, that might be revoked. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a pretty crappy thing to do. Note that. Okay, so everybody out there in radio land or TV land, if you're watching on your TV, if you ever go to somebody's house and say, "Where's the restroom?" clarify, where's the crapping restroom at?
Yeah, that was on me. That was on me, guys. I
Because-
apologize to everyone.
No, you're good.
Well, but I mean, depending on the severity and the dire nature, you may not have time to say.
No,
where
that's
it
true.
is.
I would have understood that. But the way it was relayed to me
Right.
was like, hey, I got to take a pee. Where's the bathroom at? And we're like, hey,
Well, that's what you.
4 feet away from us.
That's what we all assumed. Hey,
Yeah.
I gotta hit the bathroom real quick. Where's it? All right, over there, and then
Nick
in
only had
minutes later.
one party foul. I mean, it was mostly foul, but one party foul. He didn't turn the fan on
Yeah,
in the bathroom.
that was my bad.
I braved it.
You did.
Yeah,
You,
God bless you
yeah,
for
that
doing that.
that was
Oh, yeah.
awesome. That was
was-
amazing.
I mean, ducked in light. I mean, I hit the light switch too.
Yeah, you hit the
Like,
wrong-
You turn the light on. No, I hit.
Oh,
Both.
you hit them both? Okay.
Yeah. And I said, I'm not going back in.
It would've
One
taken-
kamikaze mission's all I got.
That, you did that bravely too.
Oh,
you
dude.
just stormed right in there. Like,
well, I
God
mean,
bless you.
I'm like you said, I'm the closest one. Doors left open.
yeah,
guys,
that was
That's the thing. He left.
Okay,
the
that
door-
was a
he
second
didn't
foul. I
even,
forgot.
he didn't even. It's not that he didn't turn the fan on. It's that he left the door open, like 4 foot away from me. I'm like, no, this can't happen.
yeah. that
Because
was-
I mean, if it was me, I mean, I get what it would feel like for everybody else. So
Oh, well, if it was you, we would have all been in here passed out on the table.
we would have already moved the studio downstairs.
We would have. We would have.
Absolutely.
that
All
was
right,
that was
enough
my
of that
bad, guys.
crap.
Enough of that. Anybody getting any KPTSD from this hire?
None.
None?
No.
No?
No,
My thing
it's
is
a different. It's a totally different situation. He's
exactly.
not leading anything. He's got oversight, right? So, like, I mean, he's going to be bringing players.
That dude in the middle of the screen up top is pretty handsome. Right behind the bench with the red CSZ hat
I've
on.
seen Blank.
I hate you.
That
That was good.
But yeah, it's totally different. Like you're talking about a head coach versus a player development recruiting, guy. Like he's going to be bringing guys in, and they're going to get evaluated by the coaching staff before.
Right.
It's not just like, oh, well, this guy's coming in.
And that's the point I wanted to make. That's for the people who are also complaining. Oh, we brought in another UK guy who's here to. He's the op. He's here to tear us down.
Manchurian candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's not the same situation because we didn't hand him the Rain Star football program.
And then Jeff, we trust.
That's what I was gonna get at. If you trust
And
Brom
Josh.
and Josh, yeah, then like why would you have any? I mean, I understand the KPPSD, but
I trust Jeff.
I trust Jeff, and I mean, if you heard that press conference too, I mean, it seems like they've had a relationship for a
They
while.
have. They grew up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're lifelong friends.
There's been rumors he's come to Louisville the last 3 summers and it never materialized for whatever reason. And
I mean, each offseason, I remember the rumors.
Yeah,
like that he wanted out. And
yeah, I don't know what's happening on this top screen, but I'm here for it.
That kid is getting after it.
He is getting it. How long, Sean? I'm gonna go to you on this one because you're the only one that hasn't said anything yet. How long before we start seeing a difference, roster-wise, impact-wise? Like we start seeing the caliber of players that we were recruiting step it up a level.
I think we're already seeing that. Yeah, they already got.
Because all I've seen is a bunch of 3 stars, 4 stars commit.
Yeah, they got that guy, the number 1 player in the state, decommitted from Kentucky, the offensive lineman, and all signs point to him joining Louisville. Yeah. So that's a big win. Now, granted, we lost the second best player, but that I think was going to happen regardless. I don't think it had anything to do with
the number of 5 stars we get. Regardless, I don't think it's going to increase.
That's what I'm asking.
A whole lot. We're just going to get a lot more 4 stars than we do 3 stars.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it just is what it is. We're not Georgia. We're not Alabama. We're not like those bigger brand schools that are still going to get a lot of these 5 stars.
Oh, you get the high 4 stars. You're looking for. You're looking for those guys right on that cusp of
our overall recruiting number will raise because of him. Not like I said, number of 5 stars probably you won't see a huge inflation of that number. It'll be more those 2 and 3 stars becoming low 4 stars to high 4 stars.
Yeah, and also I like the idea of maybe getting a new pipeline too. First off, he made mention of building the fence around Kentucky and Louisville
here.
Yeah, keep him
How
here.
many players did we lose with Petrino and Satterfield like that? Were
a lot.
Rondell Moore, huge one. He wanted to come here. Nobody recruited him. Like they never. I remember his coach was the biggest one.
Weaver,
yeah.
But I remember Rondell Moore's high school coach being like the biggest one, like publicly saying that. We've not seen any of them here. They've not come to the games. They've not recruited anybody. So.
Was it Sean? Was it Weaver who, when he came for his visit, like we had fired the coach that week, and Tyree actually took him out on his official visit?
Yes,
yeah,
that was him.
And that they hadn't talked to him either. So
I'm also excited for the Ohio pipeline. Like I think that's going to be interesting because I didn't know that. I mean, I knew there was talent there, but obviously. College football.
Yeah, he made it very clear
Florida,
yesterday. I did see that part. There was a clip made where he was, I don't know who it was, but he was telling,
It was Matt McGavick, our boy Matt McGavick. Yeah, he was going kind of back and forth with him a little bit on it. Like, yeah. And I didn't realize there was so much talent in Ohio.
Then you just normally go to Ohio State.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly, right.
But,
right.
That's the thing.
Our Big Ten schools,
Ohio, like the Florida pipeline, we didn't usually get the 5-star kids from Florida, but there's so much talent in there that the 4 stars there are 5 stars everywhere else. So you can't always go by that recruit because they can't rank everybody in the state of Florida 5-star.
Right.
Everybody in the state of Ohio, most
they're gonna have to start rating some 6 stars.
Lamar was a 3 to 4 star, depending on what you looked at.
Yeah, I don't really care about that. Once they get here, that's what I worry about is like how do they progress? Like I don't really care about. I mean, Russ Smith was a 1-star, 2-star in basketball.
Gorgie was a 0. Eric Wood was a 2. Bilal Powell was a 2.
And here we go.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah, and they all had good long pro careers.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I have been an advocate of returning our basketball schedule to that it was when I was growing up. We would play a very good non-conference schedule at the end of the year. For some reason, 3 weeks before the season was over, we'd play UCLA every year. and somebody else. We go non-con for like a week and then go back to conference. But when I said, Josh Hurd, sorry, I hope you're listening. When I said I wanted our schedule bolstered, I didn't mean that I wanted you to make it a murderer's row. It has
I love
been
it.
announced.
Yeah, me too.
Within the last 2 months combined, the following games have been announced: Arkansas for the ACC Big SEC Challenge, Indiana at Gainbridge, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That team down the road. Nobody cares about them. Game 2. Cincinnati. We are playing Memphis at Memphis.
I'm calling Memphis State.
Right, but we're playing them here, right? Memphis
I think so this year.
State. Okay.
We got like I think it's a 5-year.
Yeah, well, 6 year. It was 6 year.
Okay.
It was like
Is that the one that's going to be in Freedom Hall? Or what?
One of them, I think it's Yum, Freedom Hall, Yum, or no, maybe
no, it's Yum, FedEx, Freedom Hall,
neutral.
Bridgestone,
Yeah.
and then Forum.
Okay.
We're at Tennessee this year, and the big shocker, the most, unless you're in our group chat, and then you heard this about a month before it came out. Unlike Sean, we're scrimmaging versus Kansas, and it's a big. I don't know the benefits of scrimmaging a big time team like that because they're not going to play their best players. You're not going to play your best players. It's kind of one of those. No, you do it. No, you do it. No, you do it.
I feel
no,
like you're wrong on that.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I think both teams will. Now they won't play them a lot, but you'll get some.
No, that's what I mean. They're not. It's not going to be a true.
Kind of like a NFL preseason game.
Yeah,
like
right.
week 2 preseason where the starters get like the
some
first
snaps.
quarter or
Yeah,
whatever.
First half, maybe. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not going to play the whole game. You're not going to get a real good feel for the team out of that. So I don't know why you don't just go ahead and beat like Towson 110-4. Like I don't know. You want your confidence, especially with that Kentucky game the next week. You want to get your confidence built up a little bit.
I think
you lose to Kansas, then you beat Bucknell, then you beat Northern Kentucky, and then you lose to Kentucky. It's like, well, this really sucked. So, I mean, it sucked a lot for exhibitions over the past few years prior to PK being here anyway. So,
I mean, even if we played Prairie View A&M instead of Kansas, like I think our starters play less time in that game than they would against Kansas, and you're not really getting to see anything true out of that, that matchup. I still feel like you're talking about a top 25 Kansas team that you can kind of see where you
can see where everybody's at for a minute.
Yeah, you can see where everybody's at, and you can see where you kind of stack up at this moment in time, and then you can get your bench guys in to get a lot of run and kind of see
and then get blown out of the water, and it's accomplished you nothing. But anyway, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like it at all. Let's get to the second part of the show, which kicks off with Sean's segment. It's called "Did Sean Get Any Action Last Night?"
No yeet.
Always the most painful segment. I mean, I'm sure.
I asked him when he came in. I didn't ask it in that way, but
always the most painful segment of the show. I'm sure more painful for Sean than it is us, but I digress.
Literally.
Want to give a special shout out again to our sponsors, Four Pegs Fitness Market, the Collision Course Crew, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House, and Beckman's Fine Blades. We appreciate all their support. And I just lost the entire screen. Where to go? Okay. False alarm. We're going to get into the part. This is the part that we wanted to get into anyway. Wrestling. Guys, we are in part of probably this. We are in the midst. Is that the word? The midst of one of the most entertaining and prolific eras of wrestling. You got the Attitude Era. You got the Golden Era. But and I hate calling it this because I hate it when they do it, but the Triple H era has been, it's been amazing. There's not been a whole lot to complain about. Yeah, people have been let go. That's
brought
part
back,
of that
let go
business.
again.
Yeah, take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. But that's going to happen in that business. Shout out to them for being able to do what they've done. I would have never. I remember the first time that a guy held a belt for like 4 or 5 years, and I was totally bored with that type of thinking and mind frame with Hulk Hogan when he. I mean, when I was a kid. So it was for me. I grew up kind of during that title reign. I was still a kid at the beginning when I wanted to take my vitamins because Hulkster was taking his vitamins. At the end, I'm like, well, you suck. So it's like, and that was before the Hollywood Hogan thing, which we all liked him again for an extent. But Nick, let's go to you first on this. What kind of things are you into right now, wrestling wise?
Pooping in the wrong bathrooms.
Harley Cameron. No.
Unbelievable.
What about her puppet? I just see that, like, for whatever reason this morning I was scrolling through TikTok and I seen an old one where they were interviewing Mercedes Moné and she was talking about, I just beat Julia Hart and I'm moving on in the Owen Hart tournament and I'm going to go to All In Texas and win the women's world champion. And she's like, oh my God, here we go again. That was entertaining when she was messing with her.
I'm a big fan of that gimmick. But I think she's pretty too. But just the variety we have right now. I mean, this is so cool. I mean, there's compelling stories on WWE, AEW, TNA too. I was reading an article about like don't sleep on them. No. They have their relationship with WWE. Like I kind of also like the fact that it's almost like, okay, I'm trying to like be nerdy here. It's almost like comic books. Like if you're a fan of Spider-Man. And then there's a crossover story with Captain America.
The multiverse.
Yeah, you have like that going on. Like WWE has that going on right now. They have crossover stories with TNA. They have crossover stories with AAA. Yeah. They have all that going on. They have crossover stories with NXT. AEW, of course, has the relationship with CMLL.
Yeah.
They have the relationship, of course, they've got that great relationship with New Japan. So, like, you have, it's almost like DC Comics and Marvel, all these different, like, superheroes and stories.
WWE is definitely Marvel.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely Marvel.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. I totally agree with that.
It kind of reminds me like when G.I. Joe and Transformers in the comic books, they would cross over.
Let's not get that twisted.
Yeah. No,
Captain America is in WWE.
That he is. No, that's fair. And there's certain stories that, I'll be honest, that on both sides, I'm a little like, it's not hitting for me, but just the fact that there's so much variety right now, and there's so many, and like those forbidden doors are being open at any given moment. Like, I mean,
hello, Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like that was.
You know, I read a little conspiracy theory on.
Yeah,
did you see
I read that too.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that Wednesday night on our new show, the Wednesday Night Wrestling Recap, which I want y'all to be a part of that too. Y'all know how much I like y'all, but I love y'all's wrestling opinions as well. Chris, what about you? Things that your hot and cold spots right now?
So I'm loving the storytelling. You know, it's really kind of keeps you guessing. A lot of times in the past, you know, like especially late Vince, you could just Vince.
There we go. Yeah, good callback.
Late Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
You could really kind of tell what was going to happen, and here, you know, there's a lot of guessing going on. Some of the cold spots, I'd say, you know, why are we bringing Goldberg back? Like, I don't even understand it. You're going to end his career in Atlanta. How's he going to be? Well, there's a way. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, save it for the wrestling podcast.
Yeah,
but there is a scenario that I think has a great. Jeremy doesn't agree, and it's fine.
You know, let's talk about it for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goldberg wins the title and Seth cashes in.
Okay, so that's absolutely what's not going to. I'm going to tell you why.
Did you think Jay was losing to Gunther? I did not.
I was asleep.
Kid came out. That's what gave it away to me.
But I mean, like going into that night,
anytime a family member's there,
but going into that night, I firmly believe that Gunther versus Goldberg was no title. There was no title.
It would have made more sense. Definitely would have made more sense.
It shouldn't. So here's what's going to happen. So
just ask Rikishi.
If those of y'all that don't like spoilers, because I am Mr. Spoiler when it comes to wrestling, just turn your ears off for a second. John Cena is going to go undefeated for the rest of his time in the WWE. And on that last night, he's going to hold the title up and say, I'm leaving this place and I'm ruining wrestling. Then we're going to hear Burn It Down. Seth's going to come down and cash in on him with his gang of people. And Seth is going to truly become the one that saves us, like he's been telling us for years. He's the visionary. He's the revolutionary, the Messiah. He's going to actually save us from John Cena.
I just don't see him holding on to it till December. I guess
I bought in on Friday.
Huh?
I just bought into Cena on Friday with the whole heel.
Oh yeah,
I hate John Cena.
Same.
I'm not. No, I don't hate him. But like he was they did Vincent Kennedy McMahon
What?
did try to force him down, force feed you him, right?
Just like Hogan. It was like Hogan Part 2.
But even Roman, like when they figured out, and I think that was late Vince, right? Kind of when Triple H was like helping with a lot of booking with Roman Reigns for 6-7 years. They tried to force feed him,
Right.
and the crowd started booing him when they decided let's be yourself, be the tribal chief, the head of the table. Well, then the fans started loving it, and even Stone Cold, he was supposed to be a bad guy. He was supposed to be a heel.
Couldn't do it.
They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So,
tried,
all
but-
right,
yeah.
well, let's go. I mean, he never was take your vitamins. No, he was. His whole time was still like
Middle
an
finger.
a-hole, but just anti-establishment, and at that time, everybody loved it. But going to the point with like all the crossovers, you said something about the releases and stuff, right? How many of those releases have latched on in TNA? Quite a few, right?
Right.
So I almost think there's, we're feeding. Well, I say we.
Well, we're stock owners.
We own stock in WWE.
We bought
TKO,
one share of.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, we've been able to vote on the board of directors for several years now.
Look, I feel like every true wrestling fan would do that if they could, if they knew they could, if that easily.
But we are just feeding them this talent, this extra talent, and helping. I mean, it's a 5-year relationship with WWE and TNA. So, Nick Nemeth, here you go. Elijah, Ezekiel, whoever. Here you go.
What was the third? There was a third character. It was Elias, Ezekiel. No, there was a third one.
Oh yeah, he did have a third brother. I don't know.
Or
it was probably Elijah.
It may have been.
Probably.
No, I can't remember his name, but
either way. But yeah, they're just even like the some of the females, Xia Li, Ashba Elegance, the Iconics Inspiration are down there. There's a huge WWE presence there, along with their major stars.
I like that they've been able to,
Fandango,
Dirty Dango. I like that they've been able to, because the last relationship, and I know Nick likes AEW, and I know that Nick knows that I don't like AEW.
I like certain things in it.
I do too.
Yeah, no,
I've loved
I've
loved the Hurt Business MJF courting and stuff. That's been awesome.
Hangman Page is great.
I love the Mariah May and wait a minute, she's not there anymore.
You mean Blake Monroe?
No,
right.
I don't mean that. But
Tony Storm's excellent.
Yeah,
I love that character.
But when AEW
timeless.
When AEW did the crossover with TNA, they buried every TNA guy. They took all the TNA titles they fought for. And it was like, as a fan, you're like, TNA, what in the heck are y'all doing?
Exposure.
Why are you doing that?
Right.
But what exposure?
Well.
So, to fast forward that a little bit, to be able to see, do y'all know how badly I want the R-Truth thing to be, really what he was saying?
Who?
R-Truth. You know what I'm talking about.
Ron Killings?
No, R-Truth.
He's driving now.
It was just, that's fair. I want that to have been a storyline that somebody thought up. Because immediately when I saw that on that Sunday, I was like, well, he's saying R-Truth is retiring, but Ron Killings is coming. And it was a fleeting thought. And then it turned into that. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Maybe it was a story. It was
I'd
brilliant.
like to see him end up in TNA. Finish it out in TNA.
I think that could be possible.
Do you think AJ goes to, because I'm with you, like
AJ has said that he wants to have another match in TNA, but I don't know that he does. Who do you put him against?
Hendry, maybe, like
Moose. You can put him against.
Yeah, Moose. Yeah,
you
Moose wouldn't be a bad
who's
one.
like their most athletic?
Nick Nemeth probably.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't be. I mean,
Santana. Like I would.
You'd
love
want to
see
put him
them.
against somebody that's not been in WWE. I feel
Santana.
Yeah,
Santana's
on the rise.
Santana's
going to be in WWE when
absolute
his TNA contract's over.
dog, as
They love
McAfee would say.
Yeah. So good right now.
It is. Everything is. And as much as I love to hate my thing with AEW is
They had a 14-person tag team match.
no,
that was dumb.
No, the amount of
And then did you notice that their bottom, like they're in Mexico, that their bottom rope was only like this tall off the mat,
I did
and
see that.
everybody had trouble getting in and out of the ring, sliding under the rope?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering
Like,
that too. Yeah, it looked a
I was
little.
like, what's going? And they didn't even stand up on the apron to get tagged. They stood outside on the floor. That was
too much.
That's my biggest qualm with AEW is there's so much confusion all the time. Like, you never know who is feuding with who.
Yeah.
You got Moxley and the Death Riders, and they're feuding with everybody.
Right.
Okay, I can kind of understand that because you're saying kind of like the John Cena, I'm going to ruin wrestling. It's kind of like what Moxley and I'm hold this title and keep it hostage and blah blah blah. But Swerve is feuding with Hangman, is feuding with Ospreay, with Moxley, and then you got the Ops, and you don't know who the third. It's just kind of like mass hysteria. I can't keep up.
Everybody's in a faction. The women's division is absolutely just dreadful.
Dumpster.
It's you've got Tony and you got Tony.
Penelope Ford, I like her.
Penelope,
she can wrestle.
So let's not get a twist. I'm not saying they have horrible women's rep, but they've got a bunch of okay women's wrestlers.
Willow Nightingale's a a good wrestler.
Oh, I love Willow. Big fan of Willow.
But here's the problem:
Megan Bain, we'll see. Like she's
the absolute star.
Yeah,
Megan Bain is the absolute.
She's OVW alum, so like
I was gonna say, but I'm excited for her.
Ask Steve; he'll tell you about how he shared the locker room with Megan Bain.
I love that little faction that was her and Penelope Ford, and I feel like there was one other, but I can't remember who.
Here's the problem: Tony doesn't push the Willow Nightingales like he should, or the Deanna. They've got Deanna Purrazzo,
virtuoso,
and what's she doing? I can tell you, mostly because I fast forward through all the other stuff that's not filler. I don't even know what she's doing, and she could be the best. And I'm sorry. And again, we can address this Wednesday night because we'll be live Wednesday night at 8:00. We'll be watching Dynamite as we do our show, or pretending like we're watching.
They push the TBS women's title way more than they do the women's world title.
Why did she go to AEW and then just become this? She can't talk anymore on the microphone.
Well,
she can barely the classic matches that she had with Bailey.
Because Bailey and Becky, and when she's fighting the the CMLL wrestlers or the New Japan wrestlers, they actually can wrestle.
Yeah, right.
So she has bangers with them.
I was gonna say,
but the home, like she's not fighting the Willows and the Megan Bains and the
Statlanders, and
like she's not fighting them. But here's the thing: like the belt collector, whatever. That's just Tony's way of trying to say, see what we can do with her WWE. No, like that doesn't make her having all these belts hanging off her. Actually, to me, looks ridiculous.
Well, they tried it with. I mean, they did the belt collector gimmick with Kenny Omega a couple of years ago.
It's already been done.
Yeah, so I don't hate the gimmick, but her promos are not matching. And I like her.
I never. You can ask him. I've never been.
I love Sasha in WWE. My problem with her now is that again, she's not very fluent on the stick. Giggity.
She's dating Mordos. The Beast Mordos.
No,
that's
she's not.
Yeah.
Is she really? I
Yes.
didn't know that. I did not know that.
Sean, there is a chance for everybody.
Yeah.
Son.
Well, we don't know what's under the mask.
That's a good point.
We don't know what's under the mask.
Maybe you just need a gimmick.
Yeah.
A gimmick. There we go.
The Beast Shanos.
He did have it. So believe it or not, when I first met Sean, he
the
did
beat
have
off.
Unbelievable.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What would that mask look like? Is what I want to know.
Just be like somebody drawing circles on one side and then a big oval on the front.
Like paint flecking all
We're trying to keep the show PG.
No, paint flecking.
Yeah, flecking. Flecking. What the fleck are you talking
You know what it's called? Like flex of paint?
It is flex of paint, but I don't know if it's flecking.
Why the fleck not?
Fleck it.
The assist. He said fleck it.
Fleck it.
That was good.
Yeah. Oh, but anyway, she
you know what bothers me the most
would be the
about her?
10th best female, at best, the 10th best in the WWE network right now.
I don't disagree with that. I would even put her lower than
I said that would be at best number 10.
You know what bothers me the most about her? On one side, it looks like she's got a baseball, and on the other side, it looks like a softball.
Yeah. And the only thing she does is
No, the gimmick is it's just
whack,
grown
dude.
stale.
Worn out. Yeah.
It was never good to me. The music, everything, it was never good. Like the CEO thing.
Yeah, and it was. I'm with you. It didn't. I do think though that she's still putting on, and I know it depends on the opponent. Like every time I'm like,
Britt Baker.
I'm over it. Like her pay-per-view matches are bangers. Like she has put on some like good matches over there. It's just
the one with Britt
the
Baker
promo work
was not good. Like you could tell there was a lot.
and that disappointed me because
oh my gosh,
like one
it
of
should
the
have been really
homegrown
good.
talents. I'm with you. Yeah, that one.
Imagine that wrestling Britt Baker and not being able to put on a good match. Like Britt Baker is probably the female Dolph Ziggler. Like nobody has a bad match with Dolph Ziggler.
No,
right?
Or Nick Nemeth,
or Chad Gable, or El Grande Americano.
that guy's
Both of those guys are amazing.
Yeah, those guys are great workers.
Yeah,
favorite.
I would like to see them go one-on-one.
Same. That would be a fun one.
Would they go one-on-one or would they go uno on uno?
Oh
Don't
man,
you
I went
dare
the wrong
say-
way in my head.
I heard you start one-on-one, and I just was like, I have.
No,
Well, we thank you all for all the years of watching the Cardinal
I
Sports
didn't
Zone
say
podcast.
you did.
I did, but I did.
stopped it. Then you.
knew.
I was like, oh, whoa. Mike's
Favorite
mic is
wrestling
hot.
moment of all time in person and on TV. Joey, we'll go with you first.
I'm gonna pull one out of the hat for in person. I mean, we've been to Manias. We've been to a lot of
Most real wrestling fans have.
right. Huh.
Mm.
Gonna try to beg this guy to go to Vegas. Like I was gonna give him airline miles to fly. Like there
Had
was
a
a
hotel
room
room
already.
for him.
All you had to do was get a ticket. But extracurricular activities maybe too. So turned it
but
down.
he probably couldn't afford the $10,000.
So just because it happened on my birthday,
side.
just because it happened on my birthday when Triple H and The Rock had the 60-minute Iron Man match,
Okay.
and it was the return of the Undertaker, but as the American Badass Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
that happened at Freedom Hall.
yeah.
So
I wasn't
that-
there, but I
that was a really cool. Like I said, it was on my birthday, so that made it even cooler. But that was big. And then Joe Hendry, man, like I can't like the pop that he got at Royal Rumble and Mania coming out. Those were pretty good ones. On TV, Hulk Hogan making the turn to Hollywood Hogan.
Okay.
Probably one of the best swerves.
yeah.
That I've seen on TV, like jaw drop. Now I know what Sean should be because he almost woke mom up.
Yeah. All right, Sean, you're next. You're next. See, I don't really. Before I'm going to interrupt you because I love doing that. I don't have a problem with Goldberg being back in the picture. I have a problem with them bringing him back on and not making a story out of it. He came out Monday night. I'm fighting for the title. Well, why?
They tried to plant the seed months ago
I was
with
gonna
his
say
son,
it was
follow
his
up in
son.
but it was
Great.
never.
That's
there was
great.
never any other mention of it until boom.
No, I mean, I don't even care about that part. Why is he getting a title shot? What has he done to deserve a title shot? Why didn't they Monday night him come out and then Gunther attack him, and then next Monday night, because this ain't happening at Night of Champions. This is happening at Saturday night's main event. Over the next few weeks, you built to you put your title on the line, or I'll put my title on the line, but you got to put your career on the line.
Yeah, or after Gunther beat Jay for the title, he's just out there obliterating him.
And he comes out and makes the save.
And Goldberg comes out and makes the save. That would have made more sense.
You know what didn't make sense? In the middle of his promo, I've heard rumors about, that guy, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you just spoiled. We know who's about to come out in 3, 2.
Well, everybody does. They had signs out and chanting Goldberg.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's one thing I do hate about the internet era is that everything, almost everything is spoiled. The Hardys returning at Mania didn't get spoiled.
Yeah.
And there's been a few others, but
I didn't
It's
know
like-
Hendry was showing up to face Orton at Mania.
oh yeah, we pretty much. I
I
mean, he
didn't
was.
know Alexa was coming back at Rumble.
Uh,
I didn't know Alexa was
Yeah.
coming
No,
back.
had no idea about Alexa
No.
Bliss.
No, that was. I love me some Alexa.
It's
That
very
means
few
a
and far
lot.
between.
She's in my top 5.
Dude, I can't even hardly
So-
pick a top 5. I got 1A, 1B, and 1C, 2A, 2A, and 2B.
2A, 2A, 2A,
There's
2A.
2 2As.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many.
2 at what? 2 A's, 2 B's.
Not 2 L is not my top 5.
Okay, fair enough. Sean, favorite? You can just do one or the other. You don't have to do both. Favorite in-person wrestling moment. Because I'm trying to move this along.
Favorite in person would probably have to be Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble because I was there for that. And when he, people knew he was going to show up, I think, but still just the.
Well, there were the rumor. Again, the WrestleMania thing. We talked
and
about
hopes, just
right.
hoping.
Well, me, Joey, and Steve had talked about it on our CSZ ringside preview show of WrestleMania Night 1. I don't know that any of us mentioned Hendry. I think we were talking about a bunch of other people.
I think we did.
I don't remember Hendry coming up as a serious. I forgot who we were saying, but I don't believe Joe. But
sitting at the arena night 2, we had them people in front. Oh, it's gonna. We're all like, it's probably gonna be Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
And then when it was him, they were like, "Well, you called that." Yeah.
Absolutely.
On TV moment.
No, I thought we couldn't do it.
Oh, we know what it is. CM Punk coming back.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Holy effing crap.
Yeah.
Right in my mama's living room.
Yeah.
Just like using all the dirty
words. What the heck, Sean?
I was surprised she didn't roll out and slap the crap out of me. I really thought she was.
It was that loud.
That would have been.
Yeah, it was
it was those. Well, the bad version of those words. Holy effing crap! Like that loud. Like, what are you doing?
Like, first off, mom's asleep. Even if Jesus was walking down the street, please be quiet. Mom's sleeping. Like, come on.
Don't wake up, mama. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. He's gonna wake her up.
But I mean, if there was one person to do it, holy effing crap, I mean, that would be CM Punk returning was probably one.
All right, so
that night was full of returns.
It was Randy's first time back. R-Truth came back.
Yeah, he just popped up from behind the couch with a bag of chips.
Do y'all realize how many? And I wanted to talk about this Wednesday. I'll bring it up briefly, and then we'll get back to we'll get back on the tracks a little bit. Do y'all realize how many Easter eggs were actually in that Cena Punk promo?
Oh yeah.
Do y'all know who was wrestling the night that Punk came out and did his first pipe bomb?
John Cena and R-Truth.
Absolutely. Cena and Truth.
Yep.
The table spot was in both. Most of the line.
They recreated a whole lot of things.
They really did.
Yeah.
They made John Cena watchable again, and I don't know how they did that. There's one guy, though. No, there's two guys that I will. There's been a couple of guys that have been able to turn my opinion on them. Roman Reigns was one of them. Hated Roman Reigns for the longest time because when he got on the microphone, he sounded like
suffering succotash.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, that was.
And Cena was another. I kind of halfway. I hate to admit it. Halfway kind of like John Cena in his current run. Dean Ambrose will never be able to. I will never like him. I will always wish ill will upon him.
Damn.
And Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle is the worst person on earth.
The only time I really liked Matt, well, I've said things just to get a rise out of you, because you hate him.
Yeah, because you're.
But I did kind of like the RK Bro thing.
I was about
the tag team
Scooter.
I did I did kind of enjoy that. That was kind of like an R-Truth. He was like more of an R-Truth role, like comedic relief,
right?
And he could wrestle, but yeah, I've never like. The whole barefoot kicking the flip flops off, like,
shut up.
Yeah, you're never going to be a world champion of a major company with that gimmick. You know what I mean?
Right.
Favorite in person moment?
Favorite in person?
And don't say watching Steve win the television title from Shannon the Dud.
No, that's a good one though. No. I would say, and I'm mad at myself because I was at a company party. And for those that don't know, I also work service industry, woo-woo, shout out.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows, Chris can attest to this. Sometimes service industry people can go a little hard in the paint. And I had the same night of this company party, I had tickets to the TNA event here at Paristown.
Okay.
And so I went.
Amazing, by the way. For those of y'all that didn't go, probably the best TNA event that's ever been put on in Louisville. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, it was awesome. And so we got a sober driver to take us to the event. I lured him with wrestling tickets, and I was there, and I was like, I'm way too intoxicated to enjoy this, but like fully. But I got to see Motor City Machine Guns and Bullet Club. wrestle, and I was like, man, that's Jay White, Chris Sabin. Like I grew up watching these guys, and I remember being like, damn, I wish I was more sober for this match because this is awesome.
Well, the Hardys wrestled that night. The first night, Joe Hendry did a little he did his little concert thing where he roasted Josh Alexander, called him the walking wiener. That was pretty cool. But really, that's
Miss Brother.
That was awesome. That's your, and I'm not trying to
no for in person.
So you know what that tells me, Nick? We need to get you to more in person stuff because that is as great as that was.
Hold on, did you you went to SmackDown? You come up here and hung with us, right?
Yeah, I went.
I would have picked the tribute to Bray Wyatt at the end of SmackDown.
That was really good. The tribute to Jay Briscoe in Lexington and AEW was really good too. That would probably be second. That match that Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe did.
That was actually a good match.
That was awesome. I would say, and then like randomly, I remember being in college. And I can't remember what year this would be, probably 2012, maybe 2012, 2014, somewhere in that window. But Ric Flair, it was at Freedom Hall, and Ric Flair made an appearance, and that was kind of the first celebrity GM they had. Like they were starting that like summer like thing. And I remember I was like, I got to see Cena, I got to see Ric Flair. That was kind of cool. That'd probably be third. I mean, it was TV moments. I didn't really watch the Attitude Era that much. I had parents that were like, "There's too much swearing. Like, we don't want you watching that."
Hold on.
So So
a family from New York City.
Yes, they
said there's too much swearing. I know they call Vegas Sin City, but let's be real.
Look, I'm with you. So I had to.
How you doing?
I had to sneak over to my buddy's house, and they were a WCW family. This is when WCW was good.
The Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, the Monday Night.
I had
Wars.
2 TVs set up.
So I grew up. Any of my like Attitude Era like wrestling was WCW, like NWO stuff. So I was a huge Sting guy. I loved Ultimo.
I got my hair cut as a kid and bleached blonde because of Sting.
Because of Sting,
and the rat tail.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like so, you were like Surfer Sting. You were
Surfer 100%.
Horrible.
That's
100%
hilarious.
loved it.
See, what I used to do, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
I know you get interrupted enough. So what I would do, because if y'all remember, they used to replay Nitro back in the days. So they'd show the first live run, and then they'd show the replay. I was WWF guy all the way. I wasn't taping both of them.
You have to record it on a VHS at that point.
Absolutely.
You didn't have DVR.
I would watch Raw live, and then 15 minutes later, the rerun of Nitro would come on, and I'd watch that then. So yeah. So that's kind of how I dealt with the WCW days. And I did. I will say this. I enjoyed WCW a lot more than I've enjoyed AEW.
That's fair. I mean, there was
the best 2-year period in wrestling history.
82 weeks or whatever. Isn't that Bischoff's podcast? That 82 weeks when WCW was going toe-to-toe with them was...
Yeah, and then really like another half year after, once they kind of put them down. But that was the holy grail of wrestling periods to me.
Oh, that was magic.
Your favorite in moment, because I know Chris is actually more like us than the other two are.
He'll travel to watch wrestling.
He does travel to watch. Sean only goes to wrestling events when it's paid for by somebody else. He's kind of a chooch when it comes to that.
A chooch mooch.
Sean, me too.
But Chris, then we'll start subbing Nick in for Sean.
Hey, want to go to Vegas next year?
Sure.
All right. You're in. Are you going?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've already got my hotel room booked.
I told him that the other day at lunch. I was like, we've already got a room.
We went to the MGM this time.
Are you at the MGM?
Yeah.
So I got a 1A and 1B. Both involved Jey Uso and both involved my son, because my son was there for both of them, actually. SmackDown in Lexington when the Bloodline was still going on. And Jay turned on the Bloodline and super kicked Jimmy. Me and my son were real close right there, and he freaked out, and I freaked out too. It's great. Second moment is the Royal Rumble, because Jay is my son's favorite wrestler by far and away. Like, he's always eating. He's got the sunglasses. He's got the clothes there.
I hated the way that it felt so clunky the way it ended.
Yeah.
I loved the moment, but it felt like almost
the ending was bad. Yeah.
It felt like maybe somebody accidentally tripped in. I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to tell y'all I'm going to give you two. I'm not going to give you a TV one. Number one is from a growing up standpoint. And I'm shocked you didn't say this.
There's 1,000 of them going through my head, dude. Like, I'm sitting here thinking we were all at the birth of the Yeet because that's at SummerSlam in Detroit. That's when
that's when
it started. Yeah.
Mainstream. I remember Andre the Giant picked you up one time outside of Louisville Gardens.
Again.
Okay,
like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, there's 1,000 going through my head.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you know, all of them don't.
If you ask me this question tomorrow, I'm with you. I would probably have different answers.
I could give you 20 right now.
Yeah, right.
But for me, I'm going to say growing up, back when they used to record like 27 episodes of Raw on the same night, they came to Louisville Gardens, and it was well. First off, the same night, King Mabel,
he caught that forearm.
Kevin Nash was laid up against the rail, and King Mabel charged him. Nash moved out of the way, and we were front row. And he runs into Joey, who shoulder blocks him to the ground.
Got that forearm shit right there, boy.
But later on after the match,
I was 6'5", 6'6" at the point still,
absolutely.
and I'm as tall as Nash. And
you were a huge human.
Yeah.
Still,
Big dog gotta eat. Ooh.
Okay, calm down, Cody Jones.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Jody Rowe. But so I go to the aisle to try to, like, you know, you're still a kid, you want high fives and stuff, and I can't really get around. But I see this little kid in front of me. So I'm like, I'm going to be nice. Pick the kid up, raise him over the rail. He gives Diesel and Shawn Michaels a 5. I set them down, and they both, man, that was really cool. Like, they're talking to me. They're like, that was really cool, you, man. Here, let me give you a high five, too. I'm like, well, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. I've told everybody, like, The Rock was pretty much my roommate for a month at U of L in between college, while he was there at OVW. That story, not going to beat that one with a dead bush. I got to say, being there in person when the 17th championship was won. I mean, it's going to be, nobody's ever going to beat that record, and we all three can say we were there. Nobody.
I hope Randy Orton.
He's my favorite wrestler. I hope he gets it.
I hope he does too.
And here's why he's going to, because he said he wants to be the man to hand that record off to the next man that beats it, and I think that's an Easter egg for Randy Orton.
Yeah, but Cena's not going to be around long enough for Orton to win 4 more titles.
Do we really think this retirement's it? Like,
but in wrestling, you can never.
You say, I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, after this run, I don't think you can go back to Super Cena.
No. I mean, I agree with that, but like, how I feel like he's not going to just be completely gone.
Well, no, if you listen to them talk, his in-ring career is up. He'll still show up, probably come out and cut a promo, or
maybe hit somebody with an attitude adjustment.
Oh, so the same thing he does now, just a bunch of nothing.
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
Like the Undertaker, you know, he'll come out and choke slam somebody. He'll move into that role to where like somebody needs dealt with, and he'll show
like
up.
A Stone Cold situation. Comes years and has like one match.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got 5 more questions to ask them, but we don't have enough time to finish all these questions. We will have them back on Wednesday nights when we'll try. I know Nick's working hard in the paint normally on Wednesday nights, but we'll get them back in there because I want to know who their favorite wrestlers are of all time, favorite tag teams, favorite managers. What's on your wrestling bucket list? I'm going to ask you one last question though. And I'm going to start with you, Chris. Every time you walk into a door, you have your own theme music. What music is hitting? When Chris walks into 4 Pegs, what music? You know what? I'll give y'all a second to think. I'll put Sean on the spot.
Oh, God.
Like a virgin.
Oh. I thought he was going to say, I touch myself.
No. This is family show. Sean.
Pink Pony Club.
Okay.
That would be a banger, man. With your new fleeking mask or whatever.
Yeah, his flecking mask.
Flecking mask.
Yeah,
That's it, the Flecker.
Sean Flecker. That's his new ring name.
Sean, what's your music?
I don't know, man. It's probably going to be something hard rock, heavy metal, more than likely.
Okay. Hard rock. Interesting choice of words there.
Heavy metal. What? Your chastity belt?
Uneffing believable.
Are you talking about? Hold on. Here, let me clarify the question. Are you talking about like theme music that's already kind of out there?
Every time I push that garage door button in my garage,
Roman Reigns.
I walk up to the garage door and I pose
And then
like
you
I'm
put the
about to
one
come
on,
down
right.
No, I am the one.
I'm saying, are you talking about
but I just imagine
theme music that's already like being in use? Are you just talking about any
no,
song?
just any song,
Oh,
any
okay.
music,
Okay.
anything.
Oh. See, you were thinking the same way I was, right? I'm thinking, all right, like, is it Brock Lesnar?
What song is Sean? Is what I'm asking.
Like, there's been times where I do like the little
do the little.
Come on, Sean. Dead air. Like you hear this all week. Dead air.
How often did you do the Triple H spit? Like
I've never done it.
I did that in the shower so much I started messing up the all right, yeah, fine. I'll take some of the heat off.
Uneffing believable.
I did that so much I messed up the ceiling above the.
Please tell me there was a female in there with you.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Woo! So Nick is now not only trying to assault Joey's nostrils, but now he's trying to kill Joey here live on the show. I did the Triple A. Like whenever I got the last drink of my water after a workout, I would do I never got it the same way he got it.
I did it in hockey all the time. You gotta have to like kind of. Oh God!
Yeah.
Say this. You gotta have to blow. Like you gotta,
Okay. Joey, we'll let Captain Celibacy
non-wrestling music. It would be "Kiss," the song "Within."
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Have you heard? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I went on like a Kiss like
it was on Psycho Circus.
Yeah.
It was later in the career Kiss.
Nick went on a kissing spree.
Anytime we played in rec league basketball leagues, like I would have my headphones on going there. That's what I saw. That's what the song that I played over.
Okay.
Just to kind of like hype.
That was kind of your pregame hype.
Yeah,
that's
to hype myself. But
that's a good one.
I always was a fan of Evolution's music. Like
it was pretty tough.
Evolution is a
it wasn't too loud. It wasn't too soft. It wasn't too fast or anything.
It went perfect with them coming out in the suits and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Randy Orton's my favorite wrestler of all time, and
same.
His music's a banger.
Yep.
Yeah, but if I had to choose a non-wrestling song, that's who it'd be.
All right, Sean, you're on the clock.
Okay. I would go either a local band, Flaw Payback.
Okay.
They were back in the early 2000s. Or if it was an actual WWE theme, it would be Batista's I Walk Alone.
Well, yeah, you do.
Fair enough. Nick.
You do a lot of things alone.
All right, Nick, you're up. You're up to bat. Not in the shower, not spitting.
Not spitting. Okay. I would go. There were two songs or three. Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. I always kind of, if I want to do something stereotypical Italian, depending on what my gimmick was, I might do Feeling Good by Michael Bublé. That was a good one.
Wouldn't Nick be a perfect addition to the D'Angelo family in NXT?
How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? I'd have to, stop eating.
Paisan.
Oh,
hey,
he could be the new underboss.
Hey,
there you go.
this new consigliere.
Yeah,
he'd be the spit underboss, apparently. All right,
in the shower.
What was the last one? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. Last one would probably be either Gypsy Woman by the Cult, or no, Fire Woman by the Cult, or I Believe in a Thing Called Love by the Darkness.
Okay.
Those would probably be, and like if we're talking like current like usage, you guys are gonna hate me, but I do like Kenny Omega's Battle Cry, like that.
He's got some good music.
I hate his current one, like the Final Fantasy, whatever the hell that.
The original Wyatt family entrance, and then the Fiend.
Didn't you already give?
I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm thinking of more. Andre the Giant.
So the guy that does all of AEW's theme music is actually a friend of ours, and did the Ringside podcast. Mikey Ruckus, shout out to him.
Oh, nice.
So he's not missed very many times. There's been a couple of, but he's not like Sean missed though. Chris, what about you?
I'd have to go with Rick Ross, Hustlin'.
Oh,
I've always wanted to redo that as like a barbecue song. I think about it all.
Every day I'm Brussels.
Every day I'm smoking.
There you go.
There's a lot to do there.
And do you have like a current like WWE or any?
Randy Orton for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was my original thought.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Trick Williams for a current one because I love that
Trick,
beat.
yeah.
For every time I would play WWE 2K whatever year it was, I would assign myself this one song because I thought it was just like this is a perfect wrestling intro song, but it's Rockstar 101 by Rihanna. It's got it. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. We can't play it here on the show or we'll get
Old school Legion.
We'll get one pegged. We won't get four pegged. Shout out. But no, it's got a really nice beat. It's very angry, very aggressive.
Christian, you use instead. So when they say whoop that trick, cook that chicken, cook that chicken.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
I'll test.
I like it. Oh yeah, man. That boy Chris.
Our sponsor, Zach Beckman, says if anybody out there has any fireworks needs, come see him, 1679 North Preston Highway. Mention this show, and he'll give you a 10% discount and maybe one off a finger. I don't know. If you use them the wrong way, you might get 10% off and 3 fingers off. I'm not really sure. But no, Zach really... we have a lot of... and this is going to sound like I'm being douchey or... you're just trying to talk. We have a lot of talented yard care people here in Louisville. Shout out to our guy, the Redbird. He's done good work. Our guy, Bill Jones. Benji. Don't Benji do mowing?
Benji the mower.
Rob Black.
Baby.
Rob Black. My guy, and Zach. Like, just so many talent. And they've all serviced my yard for a period of time or not because, like, one would get full, so I had to go to the other. And then they would get so many yards, and they'd be like, well, we're not going out in your area anymore. So I've not had one person cut my yard that I was like, oh, my 2-year-old niece at the time could have done a better job, or Sean can do a better job with scissors. They've all been very, very talented.
Well, we can obviously see, that he's not very good at manicuring. So
or scissoring. I digress. Let's get into
the bedpost.
Let's get into rapid fire really, really quickly, and then we'll close the show. The University of Louisville, in conjunction with the city of Louisville, will honor former U of L athletic director Tom Jurich at a ceremony on Saturday, June 28th at 10 a.m. near the field hockey and track and field stadiums off of Floyd Street. For the second consecutive season, the University of Louisville track and field program has claimed the U.S. Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association, or the USTF-CCCCCA Southeast Regional Awards for Women's Field Athlete of the Year and Women's Assistant Coach of the Year. Bob Thernhofer won the Women's Assistant Coach of the Year, and Sinclair Savage was the Southeast Regional Women's Field Hockey Athlete of the Year. I could tell Higgy wrote this because he left out half the words and wanted me to guess what the initials stood for. U of L men's basketball freshman guard Michael Brown Jr. has been selected to the 2025 USA Basketball Men's Under-19 National Team following 7 days of training camp at the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado. USA Basketball announced on Friday. This was the same point last year. Actually, I don't know that Trenton made the final team, but we lost Trenton because of those schemy scumbags at the camps that were sniffing around. But Michael Stickett, he looks like he's going to be Cardinal forever. Well, for 1 year. I truly believe he'll only be here one season.
L1C4.
L1C4Y. Louisville first, Cardinal for a year. The U of L's Izzy Bianco. Yes, she's that Bianco. Lauren Masters and Riley Wollerton have been named to the 2025 Junior USA Field Hockey Women's National Team roster for the 2025 Junior Pan American Games. I don't know how Higgy wrote this because I know he couldn't pronounce it, but U of L forward Elif Istanbuloglu and head coach Jeff Walls are overseas at the moment to take part with the Turkey women's national team once again this summer. Walls will serve as an assistant coach on the staff, while Istanbuloglu will be one of 17 players named to the senior national team that'll be competing at the 2025 FIBA Women's Eurobasket. The tournament will be held from June 18th to 29th in Czechia, Germany. I guess that's supposed to be, again,
Chechnya.
I don't know what it's supposed to be because Higgy wrote this. And if y'all know, Higgy, love him to death. Can't spell worth a piss. And He couldn't literally spell worth a piss if we wrote it down for him. It says it
It's true.
in Czechia, Germany. Well, if you were Greece with one E, would that be Gress?
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 Gretchy.
Gretchy?
Gretchy. Hey.
Paisan!
Oh.
How you doing?
Hey.
It's a Mario. Sorry, I went too far. In Italy. He spelled Italy right, to his credit.
All right. there you go.
Italiano.
Italiano.
Hey.
Italiano. That's
Oh.
my favorite food, other than smoked meats, obviously. Please support our photographers at CSE. Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, Justin Kruger, Keith Russell. Bar none, no pun intended, the best in the business as far as a group is concerned. For sponsorship opportunities, look in the bottom left-hand corner. You'll find my email. Not that we have a room for a lot more sponsors, but we'll try to help you out if we can. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live, even though we prefer YouTube. You can find the audio version on over 125 different podcast avenues, including Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, iHeart. Hit subscribe, like, heart, plus sign, or whatever it is that Sean does on Saturday nights right now. If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy to find. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, go to the podcast tab, podcast drop-down menu, then select the CSE podcast. For our stuff post 93.9, you'll just click CSE podcast. For the stuff pre 93.9, go to archives. And for the stuff that was on 93.9, ask Nick why you erased it all. I don't know.
I didn't do that.
Check out our exclusives on cardinalsportszone.com, the place that all began. Shout out to everybody who's out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate you. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work Monday through Friday from 10:09 to 11:51 on ESPN 939 The Ville. Shout out to our guy, Dalton Pence, who's doing Mondays with DP on a rival network from 6 to 7. You'll have to find it yourself. I won't promote another. No, I'm just kidding. I think y'all are sister stations. They're on the Big X. And shout out to our guys. If you watched the last show, Terrence Jennings was on the show with us and Blake McCauley. Their new podcast, Spill in the Ville, doing really well. They're getting a lot of good guests. This week's guest, George Good, in the house. So
That's pretty good.
Nice.
that was a good, and to his credit, look, this is one thing I've always gushed over Blake about. I've got a lot of people that work for Cardinal Sports Zone. A lot of them don't ask me for, hey, can you get me? I've got, like, any athlete in Louisville history is of any importance is in my phone. I've told them time and time again, you want to write up a story? Ask me for people. This week, he's already asked me for 3 people. Can you call these 3 people? And I did, and we're trying to set up interview. The rest of them just sit around like Sean does with his love life. Motionless, flaccid, and just imagine. And shout out, I'm not even going to finish that thought. 502
Mushroom.
Circle, Dan and Mark, appreciate all y'all are doing for the university. Build these baseball guys some facilities. Not doing that, Chris. Sorry, doing the show. Other Chris, not you, Chris. It was like the other day you kept saying. Well, the other day we were having lunch and you kept saying Teresa. He's like, well, not your Teresa. And I'm like, no, we knew it wasn't. Joey, did you tell me this last night, or did I just dream this? That one of Louisville's baseball players,
Will Smith.
Okay,
It's going to be looking to help finance a hitting pitching facility,
which is what the Kroger deal was supposed to be.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
So
Yeah. I know Dan made mention he was going to reach out to,
Will
some
Smith
of the
is
guys
like
from the
one of
pros.
he's already pledged to try to help out. So
That's
it
fantastic.
should have already been built. Those renderings, I don't know if y'all remember that, but they were fantastic. I will say this. Our baseball stadium needs to be redone. It is an amazing spot to watch a game in person, but when you watch everybody else on the national stage playing their ballparks, it makes our ballpark look like Blue Lick Field over here.
But here's the thing, though. It's like Assembly Hall, Indiana. Like, it's small, like Butler Fieldhouse. They're like, that's part of the ambiance and the atmosphere, is that it's not a Major League Baseball field,
Right,
things
yeah.
like that.
No,
It's a more intimate environment.
Yeah.
Screw that. I want a big red wall out in left field. I want like cascading waterfalls out in right field, like double-decker bleachers right there at center field. I want to step up. If I win the lottery, I'll help y'all out. I promise you, Louisville.
Could we fill a 10,000 seat
Baseball.
stadium every game.
Yeah, that's
during the but
I'm with
it's
you.
hard
During
to
the
do that
postseason,
yeah, during the postseason. Yeah, it's hard for any.
But like Texas A&M and Vanderbilt and schools like that, they fill it every game.
Well, that's because
We
they got
have
100,000 people that are twiddling their thumbs at home. There's nothing within hours of them.
Well, that's the only sport that they have consistent,
Right.
Fair.
So, like we have multitude of sports. That's another reason I don't think we have a huge stadium for the baseball team is during the regular season, we're going to be like losing money on it.
Yeah.
I want the whole
Now,
hot
Will
tub
Smith
out.
wants to give, all the cards in the pros want to give $1 million, then
I want the hot tub in the outfield, at the outfield wall, the hot tub, the swimming pool, whatever. I want all that fancy stuff out there.
Well, we as taxpayers are still paying on the young, so
Yeah.
Fair enough.
not getting a second one.
I think Jim Patterson's like baby bear's
love it.
porridge. It's just
I love it.
I think it's but
I
that
don't
hitting
hate it.
check, that
Yeah.
put some money towards that one.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I don't hate. I've always been a champion for Jim Patterson Stadium. It's been the times. Nick, you were there with us when we did. Wasn't it you when we for the Kentucky Super Regional? Weren't you our producer?
Maybe.
I think
That
so.
sounds right.
Yeah. Thanks. I love.
Checks out.
That's
he,
what-
he might have been in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's a good point. That might.
No,
have been,
I'm pretty sure I have a picture of me, Nick, and Steve setting it. Somebody sent me. I don't know how they got the picture, but me and Nick and Steve were set. Well, no, me and Nick were set. Steve don't do crap. Me and Nick were setting up, and maybe that's how I got. Maybe Steve sent me the picture.
And Steve acted like he was on the phone talking to somebody. Probably.
He actually was like this in the picture. So,
I got to take this, guys.
yeah, got to take it, brother.
Now he don't tell you that. He just starts talking on the phone
Absolutely.
mid conversation.
That's
But
a-
anyway, amazing facility. I just want to see a little bit more. Jazz it up a little bit. I liked when they extended when they did the stuff down the first and third baseline where you could stand there and watch games. They extended it like a set of bleachers on.
There's
each
always
side.
got to be a party deck at all of our facilities.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Louisville baseball party deck.
Oh yeah,
Dangerous.
yeah.
Oh man, that'd be dangerous.
Wednesday night, final thoughts for me. Wednesday night, we bring you the latest episode of the Ringside Podcast, Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast crossover. We've been calling it Wednesday Night Wrestling Recap. I know it's very, very creative. Not at all. We'll preview Night of Champions, and we'll talk about the entire wrestling world, including the return of Goldberg.
Iceberg.
This Wednesday
It's
night.
cold.
Final thoughts,
Gilbert.
Sean? Hey, Gilbert. Your final thoughts for the show.
I'm just looking forward to seeing where we go with recruiting in the next few weeks in football, because I think we should start seeing the fruits of Mr. Merrill's labor soon enough. And then
You want to see his fruit?
God dang it! I was thinking the same thing.
No.
You want to see Merrill's fruit? What the heck?
and then other than that,
You suck, Sean.
Yes, you do.
other than that, looking forward to the 4th of July as well.
Okay.
Couple weeks.
Sean's birthday's Friday. He's
Yeah.
gonna turn up by
birthday.
coming over and watching SmackDown like he does every week. Joey,
So on this week's trash, obviously Maryland's trash.
Maryland's always trash.
The other thing is trash. It happened about an hour and 15 minutes ago. Shut the door when you poop
That's my bad.
4 foot away.
Yeah, that's I'm
Or he
I'm
could've-
holding that L. That was my bad.
Or he could at least give us a warning.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
What? What? Okay,
No,
that's
that's
Sean.
gonna be that's Sean's
Sean's
entrance
soundbite.
music. We asked him
Yeah,
earlier.
that's it. Oh wow.
We asked him earlier. That's his. Play it again one more time.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
We should get him a T-shirt with that on it as a warning. Like when he finally approaches that girl for the first time. Hey, girl. Contents may look larger than they in the mirror than they seem. I don't know.
With the fucking mask.
What-
You got
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Oh, he's got. It's like a Jason. It's like a red Jason mask with then just white flecks all over it. The flecker.
I had to get that in. I
Somehow he becomes Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. He climbs the ladder.
Sean Dust over here. All right, so trash. Nick's bathroom etiquette. Trash.
The pooping incident.
Oh,
I had been in this
Poop
house
gate.
for 5 minutes.
it hadn't been very long.
I just got here and immediately it was like I got to mark my territory.
I will say that.
Now, if I go in there and there's marks,
Oh no, I went back. I went back behind to make sure that there was.
I want to kind of take this as a compliment because you don't just feel comfortable pooping in anybody's house.
Yeah, right. No, you got
Right.
the hospitality. Had my liquid death.
How you doing?
It was
Hey,
just
don't
like,
say- we didn't
hey.
get Luke Whitehead anything to drink, and he bitched us out for
oh,
the
dude,
show.
he came in with one of them little
He brought the water in. We didn't bring the water.
bitty, like the
It was
little bitty
Sean's
waters. You know what I'm talking
oh,
about?
yeah.
Yeah. And afterwards, he was like, "Man, what kind of show is this?"
But there's not even any water in my coffee cups here, which are
Yeah.
beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
Final thoughts. Everybody stay cool this week. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
I'll be feeling it out by the smoker, but come see me anyways.
Yeah, I work in a
Oh,
warehouse with no air conditioning, so
Be
I'm
glistening.
dreading it.
The general of glistening and the general of glazing over here, 1-on-1.
I tell you what, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to come out there and get some pulled pork each week, and just let's go take it for lunch every week. That's what I got to do.
I think so. I think that's
Yeah. Make my wraps out of yeah.
I think that's solid. And again, we're not just saying this because Chris is our buddy and he's sitting right here. I mean, we're the type of people that would do it. We're not. I have not tried anything there that has not just been absolute fire.
Oh, dude, we got
Fantastic.
wings last week. Jeanette and I did, and like I ate 3 of her wings, and she made me sleep on the couch because I ate all of my wings. And
How did we go a whole show without mentioning Jeanette? She's
That's
the star
probably
of that
why
show.
When was this?
No, this is last week.
Okay.
No, every time I eat
It
4
just-
pegs,
it just-
it's fine.
Okay, it just made
it's
its way
fine.
through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the McDonald's, the s'mores McFlurry that was.
I still think I'm going to have to try to take down the challenge.
We don't do it anymore, but
Oh, well.
I'll make you one
Okay.
just for you.
We'll still time it.
Yeah.
Special.
And if
I
I
mean,
if
I
I
still
do it,
remember the soundtrack.
yeah, and if I take it down in the right time, it's still going to count.
It will.
Okay.
Okay. I
What was the challenge again?
The
It was,
greatest.
the greatest. Yeah, it's just a giant, ridiculous 5.5 pound burger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shiggy failed.
It was a
He did.
Hickey talked
he-
so
I'll
much
take it.
crap and then didn't even finish a fourth of it.
I tried to coach him throughout the whole time, and he never did any. Like he was doing everything wrong. Everything wrong. Everything.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But
And
make
he
sure.
didn't even halfway through. I don't think.
So I'll say this, and again, not just because he's sitting here, but there's not one place in Louisville that outcooks Chris in anything.
Yeah.
There's only been one thing that I've even tried in the barbecue realm that I've liked, but as far as I know, Chris don't offer it. So growing up, there was a place, it still is around, Shack in the Back in Fairdale. I thought that was the best ever until I discovered 4 pegs, but they offered these things called turkey ribs.
Oh yeah, those are good.
And they're fantastic. Now, I don't know if you've ever offered that before.
We've done them in specials, yeah, but
Okay.
Jack in the Backs did have some really, really good ones.
They're like a 3-peg.
Yeah,
They're like a 3 peg.
Yeah.
and they did have for the longest time until this week the best smoked bologna sandwich I'd ever had out.
Are they? Stop doing it.
Well, no, I had Chris's.
Oh well.
We're doing bologna burn ins this Friday.
Oh, dude.
Hey, for Sean's birthday, we got to go get some. Do you like smoked bologna?
Yeah, that's right.
What are you talking? Sean smokes his bologna all the time.
Somebody has to.
Yes, he's in on it now too.
Unbelievable.
You just got burnt by Chris.
That's a specialty.
Cook that chicken, huh? Yeah.
You got good
Yeah.
bartenders over there too.
Yeah, we got a really good team.
We made a cocktail when Process was leaving. We called it the Betson, and your bartender helped us come up with it. It was like peach puree. It was freaking awesome. It was really good.
What
you go.
all is in bologna burnt ends?
So you smoke it with some dry rub, then you put some barbecue sauce on it, cut it up, smoke it again, put a little butter.
This
brown
Friday?
sugar, some honey maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we're all going to see each other at 4-peg.
Yeah, exactly.
Friday. I did the same. Now I won't say I created it because it was just an idea, and it's nothing as glorious as what Chris created. But for those of y'all that don't know, I got a Blackstone griddle for something last year. I don't know if it was my birthday or whatever. And I do this little concoction where, like, if some weeks there's more money in the bank than there is the other. Shout out to WWE. So sometimes I'll buy some hot dogs and I'll grill them out on the Blackstone. Well, what I like to do, I'll throw a little cheese on the bun, smash the hot dog down in there, and put some more cheese on top, and then really, really quickly flip it over, and it makes a grilled cheese hot dog.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I'm here for that.
Yeah, really.
And it's amazing. And last night I decided, well, let's take this up a level. So I put some chili cheese sauce on top of it. Probably the best thing I've had to eat in a long time. No disrespect for Teresa. She's very good.
All right, so Friday, bologna burnt ends and grilled cheese dogs.
I can do it.
I like it.
I like it.
I can do it.
That's a date.
Next time you'll hear from us, it'll be July the 6th, and we'll be hitting you with a double dose of hoops as we welcome to the studio the voice of Louisville men's basketball, the TBT, and whatever else they ask him to do. Is our guy, Mr. Lance McGarvey.
Lou City as well.
In Lou City, absolutely. I said a variety of others.
No, I'm staring right at it.
And some guy named Peyton Seaver will be here too. You may have heard of him. He's all right, whatever. Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, can we come back for the wrestling show?
Definitely.
And I can blow up your bathroom, almost kill Joey, and then we can.
I do the wrestling show from my house.
Oh, okay.
You get here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, had the fan.
We'll buy some poopery.
Man wipe, dude wipes.
Dude wipes and poopery.
Last question: does this say fire or 555?
With that 55.
Yeah. I think you're saying my number. I'm not sure.
No, it said bye.
It did say bye, which is really, really weird. For Joe Wallman, for Sean Barber, for myself, and the incredible Chris Williams, and the incomparable Nick Valvano. This has been the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. We hope you all enjoyed the week. L's up. And yeet.
Pay attention.